Monday Night Football Super Bowl rematch. Our man on the scene. What a lovely shot there in front of Arrowhead is Jeff Darlington. And I know you had a chance to sit down this week with Patrick Mahomes. How did that go, Jeff?
Hannah, it went great. He's lovely. Look, I'm standing, though, by the way, in the parking lot of Arrowhead, and I will not be able to stand right here on Monday night without getting beer spilled all over me. This will be absolutely packed. That stadium will be lit up, and that is something, by the way, that Patrick Mahomes really reiterated. We're talking about a team right now that is obviously playing good football, but he recognizes that this team can be playing better football. He recognizes that they need to get themselves primed for the postseason. And when the lights turn on behind me in our discussion, he also pointed out that this is when you want to see the best out of your team.
Embrace this moment. Everything we worked for is for this moment. Everything you went through to get here. Everything we did to get here.
You're playing a team that's 8-1 in the Eagles on Monday Night Football. How much does this provide a barometer for what you guys are?
Playing on Monday night, it's going to be about as close to a Super Bowl type feel that you can have playing against another great team that we just played in the Super Bowl last year. You'll get to see where we're at as an offense, as a defense, and as an entire team. The biggest thing is you see how guys respond under the lights, and I think that's what gets you ready for playoffs and Super Bowl games.
You may have heard there was a football game yesterday, and Taylor Swift was there. She is the newest Chiefs fan.
The attention on the Chiefs right now, does it feel any bigger than, say, winning the Super Bowl twice?
I don't think it feels any different. People see the whole Taylor Swift and Travis, and they make it a huge deal because it is a huge deal. I think it becomes a bigger deal to the fan bases than it does to the guys that are actually in the building. And I've been lucky enough to meet Taylor and see how good of a person she is. I think you understand why it's not become a distraction or anything like that, because everybody cares about being the best they can be every day. We'll see when we get to the off season. Maybe I'm like traveling to Europe to go to a concert or something.
No, I was just sitting there ready for the ball. I was like this, like, where's it gonna go? Where's it gonna go?
What is your relationship like with Travis?
I honestly feel like he's my brother. I mean, I talk about his family and my family have almost become one family because the relationship that we have and how we've kind of became this brothers on the football field, but off the football field as well. He doesn't try to be this Travis Kelce Saturday Night Live guy. He just wants to be the guy that comes to play football every single day, and I think that's what makes him so special and why guys really gravitate towards him. We both love winning and we love competing, and I think that's what makes us have that same wavelength on the football field is we're going to compete to the very end.
Let's go do it, Don. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You just be you.
How does that apply itself to the football field?
He sees the game like a quarterback. He just knows what I'm thinking back there when I'm playing the game and playing the quarterback position. And I think it gives me the trust that I know he's going to change a route on the fly, and I know he's going to be in the right spot. Hey, you're a legend, man. Congrats, man. You're amazing, man.
Yeah, let's keep in touch.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
Tom Brady used to talk about using the regular season to find the identity of the team. But how much do you subscribe to that philosophy?
Let's go!
I think these last few years I've kind of got a better feel for that. You want to win every week is hard, and it's the NFL. Everybody can beat everybody. But you want to continue to build all season long. The goal is to be playing your best football going into the playoffs, and I think if we continue to just work at it, the offense will get it figured out, and the defense will be even better, and we'll have a chance to make a run at it.
Mahomes has been forced to spread the ball around this season. He has done that at an historic rate. 6 games this season in which he has completed a pass to at least 10 different receivers. That is the most in a season already, okay? And we're here in week 11. That's the most in NFL history. He just continues to, move on from Tyreek Hill and then doesn't have an established number. Just continues to have these explosive plays. How is he getting it done?
Well, they're searching for him. And it's crazy to say that the best player on planet Earth, this offense is middle of the pack, 15th in the NFL when it comes to finding those explosive plays. It's really one of 3 ways this year, and there's not a lot of them. One, Patrick running around and making big plays. He's done this, not as much and or as successfully as he did with a Tyreek Hill, but that's the number one way that this offense has had the opportunity to create some explosive plays. And then there's 2 others. Again, not many examples of them, but they're very clear of how they want to try and make it happen, and also how successfully they make it happen. So first of all, they are going to do an outside-in motion with Travis Kelce, and they're trying to create a 3-level pass concept to the perimeter. You'll have somebody going deep or to what we call that front pylon, and then we'll have a flat route, and then what they'll do is have a corner route. Now, I put that one in blue because even though the progression is really 1 to 2 to 3, and everybody at home, pay attention to that number 1 at the end of this, the throw goes to number 2, 1 to 2 to 3. The throw is going to go to number 2 so consistently here that that's the throw that Patrick Mahomes has hit so often. He would read this flat defender. If this defender stayed low, he would throw the back. If this defender comes up, Patrick's going to throw that corner route. Now, that's happened a fair amount this season. But remember, I told you who number 1 in the progression was. So that's the number 1 way. The number 2 is they get into these bunch concepts and they'll get some form of a play action passing concept where they want to get crossers. Patrick will get that ball fake. And then crossers, meaning you're going to get 3 guys pushing vertical, and one of these guys is either going to go route or big post. You're going to get this deep crosser again, and then some form of a back to the flat. Now, the progression, again, is going to be 1. I told everyone to pay attention to that. 2 into 3. Now, Patrick does a great job in the pocket. He's going to get number 2 to Travis Kelce. But there's that big completion. Again, not many of them. Now, I told everybody home to pay attention to number 1 because that's the ball that they want to hit, some of those big throws over the top. They did with that so often with Tyreek Hill. While they've had some of those chunk completions, as I'm all over RC,
yeah, I know.
They've had some of those chunk completions, they don't get many of those big ones downfield. So they've only hit creating explosive plays by Patrick running around doing something, some of those perimeter corner routes, or a play action pass crosser. If they're going to get them, it's going to be one of those 3 ways. It's just not a ton.
RC, you may speak now.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at what this team has done, you know, Dan mentioned when they spoke in Germany that they were looking for roles for all of these wide receivers. Well, it's time to get past that. It's time to figure out how schematically you can use all of these guys to make plays against the Eagles. That needs to be in the middle of the field. That needs to be on rookie corner or inside slot guy Elias Ricks, or working new safety Kevin Byard and Reed Blankenship's, or focusing on the linebackers. If you can get plays made in the middle of the field where we saw guys like CeeDee Lamb eat, and also Ferguson, if you can give them opportunities, I think that's the place where they're susceptible. So we'll see if Patrick Mahomes focuses on another guy outside of Travis Kelce in between the numbers.
All right, RC, listen, we have to go now to the other side of this. So none other than Sal Paolantonio, who, of course, is the expert of all things Philly. We talked about Jaylen Herz a little earlier on SportsCenter, just the fact that he wasn't as mobile early in the season. But what did you observe? You just were at practice today.
Yeah, Hannah, he didn't have any sleeve or any kind of brace on his left knee. That's something he was wearing in the latter couple of games. He looked like he was moving just like the Jaylen Herz of old. No restriction, driving the ball, a lot of good lateral movement, stretching to try to get the knee loose. But he didn't seem to be wincing in any kind of pain. And he looked like the old Jaylen Herz. And this is going to be crucial in this football game. If the Eagles are going to be successful on offense against this revamped, rejuvenated Chiefs defense, only giving up 15.9 points per game, which is second best in the National Football League, Hertz will have to do 2 things. He'll be able to be a threat in the running game. That's number 1. And number 2, his lateral movement in the pocket to avoid the pass rush, his ability to get outside the pocket and pass accurately on the run will be crucial in this game. We talked to him about this Chiefs defense and what he will be up against.
They always, put up a good challenge on tape. I mean, they fly to the ball. They had a great D-line. They have a great secondary. They're playing at a very high level. It's a big challenge for us.
They are really, really good as a unit. I think that they've had good personnel. They still have good personnel. A great player in Chris Jones up front. Not to keep talking about Spags, but I think he's doing just about as good as he's ever done in this league, and he's been a great coordinator for a long time. They play well as a unit. They disguise things. Things look similar. So it's hard to tell what's coming, when. You really have to be on your A game.
Of course, Hannah, that was Travis Kelce's brother, the All-Pro center, Jason Kelce, talking about Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator of the Kansas City Chiefs. But just 1 point off of what RC and Dan Orlovsky were talking about regarding Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and the offense. The Eagles brought in Kevin Byard just a couple of weeks ago, safety from the Tennessee Titans, specifically to match up against Travis Kelce. It's a small sample size, but Byard has had some success against Kelce, who was a beast against the Eagles in Super Bowl LVII. That will be a matchup to watch in this football game.
And you're all about matchups, Sal, and this is the first time since 1979 the two Super Bowl teams are at the top of their respective conferences. Cannot wait.